Hello, everyone. Welcome to or welcome back to my Chronically Cozy Life, where I am sharing my life and career with a chronic illness. Today, we are starting a new series called Chronically Cozy Chats, where I am going to bring on other spoonie creators and business owners, and we are going to share our experiences and talk about life and work and hobbies and everything in between with chronic illness. Today, I'm chatting with Monica. I'm super excited about this. She is a brilliant artist and author and art life coach, and she is turning creativity into healing and empowerment. And I'm so excited to share all of her stuff with you. Please get ready, get yourself cozy, and let's go chat. Hello, welcome. I'm so glad you're here, Monica. How are you?
I'm so excited to be here. This is honestly so wonderful. I'm really good. I'm really excited to be here and chat with you and have this discussion because honestly,
Yeah.
the energy's vibe. It's great.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. I think that this is going to be an amazing series, and I'm so excited to start it off this way because I already know that we have like so many things in common that we want to talk about. So I'm super excited about it. So let's jump right in. Tell us about you and your business and what you do and your journey.
Absolutely. I'm Monica. Hi. I am the creator of the company called Ignite Inspire Designs and the brand Chronically Radiant. I am an artist, an author, a life coach, an art life coach, actually. So, using art therapy techniques in a coaching format. So, not a therapist. I cannot solve your issues for you. I cannot help you deep dive into the reasons of those traumas, but I can help you process through creative self discovery on how to move forward and how to basically create the life of your dreams with what you have. And the whole vision and goal behind Chronically Radiant is I see a lot of people talking about advocacy being just focused on the suck, like the crap we deal with, how symptoms suck and how flare ups suck. And I only see suck everywhere. And I think that
Yeah.
it's doing us a disjustice. It really harms the chronically inclined and spoony communities
Yeah.
because we can live beautiful, radiant lives on our own terms that are made for us. The world not may not be made for us, but we can orchestrate a life that is totally by design for us and gorgeous in our own right, as long as we redefine what success and radiance means to us.
Yes,
So that's kind of the
100%.
vision, it's kind of what I do.
Yes. That's like that's exactly what I love. The like just creating that cozy, that radiant, that like lovely life around. Just you have it. It's a thing. What can we do to make it still awesome around us?
Exactly, right? And not live stuck in the suck. And
Yeah.
I use that phrase a lot, stuck in the suck. And I feel like it's like a fun little quirky way to say that you don't have to be depressed all the time by being stuck in it, you know?
Yeah. So when did you start your journey of turning your passions into an actual career?
So I've kind of been taking steps on it for 2.5 years-ish. I've been creating art and honing my skills in the background and doing a blog for about a year and a half. The art came way before that. That's just been a lifelong passion for me. I really got serious about it though in mid 2023, 2024. Um, I don't have my entire blog history up on my website because it's not quite relevant and not quite good. Um, but now that I'm super serious on it, it's been a process of learning as I go and self-improvement, accepting myself and my illness. I mean, practicing what I preach, right?
Yeah.
Um, and kind of figuring out how that goes together. The last year, I've really been focusing on branding, and right now, I'm really in the groove of getting collaborations, doing my art advocacy and awareness series, which my first piece I'm working on right now. It's I'm tooting my own horn. It's lovely, um, and
I think
developing
I
a
is that the
portfolio.
one we've seen like a few like peeks of on Instagram? It looks
Yes,
amazing. I'm excited to see it.
Oh, thank you. I actually can't wait to unveil it and show you. And I might show you what I've got already, just at the end of the video if there's time, just to kind of give like a little sneak peek. Because I did more to it that's not on Instagram yet.
It looks amazing. Like, and is it done? That's like wood burning, right?
hmm
How
So
long have
it's a
you been doing the
combination
wood
of
burning?
the wood. Oh my God. So I've been doing it in like 10 to 20 minute sit down sessions. So it took a lot longer than I thought because I'm like kind of carving away the top layer and then burning underneath and kind of carving my design in first. So it was like
Oh,
1 or 2 sessions for carving, one or
wow.
two sessions for burning. And then it took 1 or 2 sessions for sanding down where the paint's gonna go, and then now however many sessions it takes to paint it.
Lovely. That's so fun. I've just started I've got a wood burning kit and I want to I've done like one piece with it now. But and burnt myself, of course.
hmm
Yeah. So,
Occupational hazard.
um yeah, no, we could talk about the actual art styles for forever, but let's
hmm
focus on the career.
I
How are
agree.
you making that art a career? What kind of creations have you made with it?
So I've kind of taken different directions in my brain, and I'm one of these people that the way my brain works, I firework with a million different ideas, and unless I like pick a few to focus on, I'm never getting anywhere in my life.
Okay.
So last year was the firework, and this year is like the I'm down, I'm dialed in, I know what I'm doing. So I'm doing it in 2 phases that happen simultaneously. Phase one is the art advocacy and awareness. And this series, the Chronically Radiant series, is based on exactly what I was saying earlier, where we do advocacy, we display a little bit of the symptoms and the hardships, but in a gorgeous way, kind of reframing everything, and that our chronic conditions don't mean that beauty and radiance can't exist. And I'm doing this I want it to be very based on lived experience. So I'm using this as like a collaboration and a growth tool as well as just raising awareness so that I can collaborate with other like minds like you
Yeah.
and get really in person and personal with the details and the symbolism of the art that I'm using. And then the second kind of part there is I am actively creating a course called Chronically Radiant Life, and it's going to help anybody, no matter if you have any artist experience. If the only time you've ever picked up a pencil is to write your name, then you can do it. And if you're an artist, you can do it as well. But it's combining those life coaching techniques and art therapy techniques into a workbook that's at your own pace. You don't have to do it start to finish either. You can pick whatever you want and feels inspired to you that day, um, through art prompts to help you and help any client or person who wants to go beyond their condition and find the radiance in their life, create it, process their diagnosis, learn about themselves, and figure out what going forward a radiant life would look like and how to get it.
Mhm.
All through using art and having fun and just basically using that creative part of your brain and the logic part of your brain.
Yeah.
And that I'm really excited about.
That sounds
Really,
so
really
cool.
excited about.
It sounds like in the way you're telling me you're creating this course, like the way you want to make it super adaptable so that for anyone to be able to do it whatever pace kind of thing. I think we're both prioritizing that same kind of structure in the
Mm-hmm.
products that we're creating because that is so important for those of us who have chronic illness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I learned this in creating structure for my own business. So tell me what kind of routines and systems and structures you've put in place to adapt to your chronic illness when it comes to building your business.
Absolutely. I mean, it took me 13 years to acknowledge that I'm allowed to have adaptations, let alone to start using them.
Right?
So,
Isn't that always the first step?
well, exactly. One of my big things is I never attach hard deadlines to my tasks.
Yeah.
I have like tasks that I'll assign to a week and they have to be done that week, but it doesn't have to be done on Monday, Tuesday, like, or by 3 p.m. on this day. It just has to be
Yeah.
done that week to allow for like the energy fluctuations. as well as having multiple office setups. So I'm currently sitting in my actual office in my actual chair, but I have setups that I could work from my bed or from my couch if I need to, or
Yeah.
outside if I'm having a really low spoon day, but I need the sun to get some dopamine, you know?
Yeah.
Um, all about comfy cozy. My office attire is anything that's like sensory good for me. I'm a huge tactile person,
Yeah.
so I live in comfy clothes that like look a little classier.
Nice.
Or at least maybe I think they look classier. I don't know.
I still
But
need to
really, it's
work
just,
on getting more of those.
hey, you know what? It's really about what makes you feel good and what makes you feel confident. If like you're feeling confident and your skin, you feel good in your skin and your body feels
Yeah.
good in your clothes, that's exactly what's needed.
And which which is something that I've finally started doing for myself, and like that in itself has been an accommodation, is like
Mhm.
accepting that I do not like tight clothing, and
Mhm.
like just finding like the things that work right for me. And I know that that's something that we both have in common because we both have a very like neurodivergent brains as well. Um,
100%.
we were talking about this the other day, and the way you said it, I really liked it. You said that you're autistic dominant with a bit of ADHD, whereas I
Mhm.
am ADHD dominant with a bit of autism. And I thought I thought like that was like a really neat way to describe it. How has the neurodivergent side of you affected being an entrepreneur?
In some ways, I think it's my superpower, and in other ways, it's a really big growth and learning opportunity for me. And I say that a little bit of a sensitive tone because I'm still learning how to work
Yeah.
with it. And I know there's some things that just aren't in the cards for my business because of it, but that's fine for me. Um,
Is it something that you've always known about yourself? Is it something you've recently found out about yourself? I know that a lot of women are more late diagnosed these days, and
I am one of those
yeah,
girlies. I was diagnosed at 21. I self-diagnosed at 20, so I kind of figured out what was going on. I am a very high masking individual. I'm honestly kind of doing it on this video, even though I'm trying really hard not to. Learning the whole unmasking process. What you can't see is I'm fidgeting 8 million times and all that jazz. But being late diagnosed was hard in the regard that growing up I didn't know, but I'm glad that I know while I'm building my business
yeah,
because it's hard for me to like sit down impromptu and like, oh, I'm doing this amazing thing right now. I should film this. Like in the moment, think, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. I should film this. I should do this. Um, but it's super easy for me to create an organizational calendar, a task, and
hmm
like get all that stuff done. I have the hyper focus of ADHD, but the schedule, routine, and self discipline that comes so easily with autism. And because I am autism dominant, I find it very helpful that I can create my own structure. Yes, it's a flexible
hmm
one, but it's structure nonetheless. Like day job, morning, get that done first, get that BS out of the way. We don't like her. Then go through and get like the necessaries done and like the non-negotiables. Then I have time for the arts and the things and the content creation, the calendars, sticking to that. Amazing. However, filming the content and like actually in the moment, like, this is amazing, I need to film this, or like, this is so relevant. Nope. If I don't schedule time to film, I don't do it.
yeah. I'm the complete opposite, like exact opposites there. Like I do most of my content impromptu and like in the moment. I'm like, oh, hey, I should just like throw this out there. And sticking to a proper schedule is like, so the autism in me can make the schedule
Yeah.
and make it like beautiful and complex and like all encompassing. But then the ADHD side of me just like takes over and is like, so we are doing something different today. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But like, remember how yesterday we said we were gonna do this other thing? Like, no,
Mm-hmm.
I just yesterday I just completed a couple different projects that I've been putting off for weeks in
Mm-hmm.
like the span of a couple hours.
Superpower.
Yeah, right?
Hmm.
That's the superpower. It's also the disability that I wanted to have those done a couple weeks ago. But
Hmm. See, and that's
the
perfectly
content
displaying what we
creation, yeah.
talked about, right? Though,
Yeah.
like the ADHD in you versus the autism in
Yeah.
me, right? Like it's clear displays, like
Yeah.
very, very clear displays. I mean, I'm so much rigid to the point where I need to schedule my flexible time. So, like, I have to schedule my spontaneity.
I keep trying. I so desperately, and I know that this is like, I know now that this is kind of me masking, but I plan everything. I have a planner. I talk about my planner a lot. I love my planner.
I know, I
I
love your
spend a
planner
lot of
too. The
time
layout's
planning
wonderful.
things with my planner. Um, but sticking to it
Hmm.
has just never been my biggest skill.
I
I just
also love
jump
your planner, by the
around
way.
way too much. It's so
Yeah.
ridiculous. Um, okay, in all of that, and we were talking about this a little bit in like the setting up process of it.
Hmm.
I have found that as a chronically ill and neurodivergent creator, AI has helped me a lot.
Hmm.
Where do you stand on AI, especially as a creative person?
I have seen it everywhere, so don't coin me on this. This is not my original brain blurb, but I've seen it everywhere that they say that AI should be used to do the tasks, the everyday menial tasks, so that your brain can be freed for the creativity.
Mhm.
And I very much agree with that. AI writes all of my emails. AI writes out my content schedule. I put all the ideas in and it makes it make sense.
That's
But
my
like when it comes
favorite
to the
part when
art,
it just organizes the messy.
mhm. Oh my God. And I talk to mine. So I'm like, I'm just going to say all this blah, 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 and you're going to put it into like a written copy and pastable thing for me to write down and document for later.
Yeah,
However, all of
amazing.
my designs, all of my art, all of my course content, all of the creative stuff actually comes from my mind. The content creation itself
Yeah,
comes from me. It's just
yeah.
AI helps me do the back end stuff. AI is basically my customer service bot.
And I think that that's so good. That's such a smart way to use it. And I think, like, I mean, I know there's just so much debate out there right now. And part of me really wants to stand with the like, we shouldn't let it take over. We shouldn't let it do these things for us because then it makes us stupid. But like, also, the way that it can organize some of the thoughts that like I think are brilliant. I
Mhm.
just can't quite get them into the certain order
And
and the way it can
articulate it
take
quite
that.
right.
Sorry?
And articulation quite right. Like on it, I have the idea and I just don't know how to say it right, but then chat does it. But can we just like dream of a world where AI does my dishes and my laundry and my sweeping and I can do my business and I can do my creativity and I can do my painting and I just like
That would be
don't have
lovely.
to focus on the housework?
I know, I'm really hoping. I have high hopes. Um, I'm a little worried we're gonna end up in like the iRobot situation.
Yeah, I feel like that's it's a possibility.
I've watched just like all together and like watched and read all together like too many dystopian stories to
Hmm.
trust it ever. And
Hmm.
like I'm already watching it, I mean, slowly take over the jobs of people that it shouldn't be taking over from. But
I see
I
that
do, I
too.
would love that. That would be
I'm one of those people though that like if I let myself think like that for a minute, I will never unthink it and I will be a fear-mongered like person. Like I can't watch the news. I can't let myself think about the bad what ifs because I will just not come out. And I don't want to live like that.
I just haven't figured out how to stop my brain from thinking about it. It just does. It's
That's
just
the
like,
ADHD.
hey, what if the robots took over? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, well, I can't deal with that right now. I have to do work. Like, but what
See,
if?
see, I think part of my thing is I'm very big on like mentally training myself. And I know that that's probably the autism too. I create rules for myself in my head and I make myself follow them. Um, but I have the what if spirals too. I just force myself to choose the scenario. So it's an impulsive thought, what if? I acknowledge the impulsive thought. So let's say we'll go with this iRobot example. Let's say that came up in my brain. I'm like, ooh, what if AI goes crazy? I would acknowledge that, and then I would say, okay, but what if AI helps me build my dream career? And then I focus on that instead. And I focus on all the what ifs on how that is possible and how to like manifest it, the steps that I can take, the things that I can do. And I know that it's not possible for all intrusive thoughts. It's not an option all the time. And it's definitely like a when it works, and when it doesn't,
Yeah.
um, but like me, very much like I control my what ifs. So I only like let myself, if I can control it, fester on the like
Yeah.
positive what ifs.
The mindset of everything has been just the most annoying
Mm-hmm.
journey to be on.
Especially,
Because,
girl,
and I'm
especially
like,
because we live and where we live. Like the timescape and like the year, the society, what we live in right
right?
now is a fear mongered, negative, like negative Nelly world. It's hard to
I know, I
raise
like
up.
the amount of times I've had to ask myself, like, is this anxiety or is this an appropriate reaction to the times that we are living in?
Mm-hmm.
Probably that one. Um,
Yes.
my mindset approach to those kind of thoughts is I've just learned to and then the same thing with my ADHD. I'm learning to roll with it. That's kind of my
Mm-hmm.
big thing right now is just roll with it. So like when my brain goes, but what if? And I go, yeah, frick, what if? This sounds like an amazing story. Let's play that out. How fun. And I think of it more as like that movie, that story. Like, I mean, my brain is going to go into weird directions anyways. So I might as well let it just get creative. And I'm like, huh, that was fun. Do back to doing my job. Like,
But I love that for you though. You're such an audiobook person anyway. Why not let your brain do it? It's free entertainment at that point, right?
and I mean, I've had to do pretty much the same thing when my brain's like, hey, so remember how we were going to do this thing today? Now we're not.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
well, okay. Because I've learned that if I keep trying to force myself into doing the thing that my brain doesn't want me to do,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to do. It's not going to do.
Back on the
So I might as well
autism versus
roll with it.
ADHD thing. Whole are we the opposite? Because I have the opposite problem. I have a schedule in my head and tasks and rules and like things that I put in, and I have a really hard time when my plans that I didn't announce get disrupted. Or I can't follow through, or my body says no and I can't follow through on the day that I had set. Like I have had like I internalize my autistic meltdowns. So like they're in my head, but like I lose my mind. Like nothing
Yeah.
like if that and it's like it could be something as simple as like I needed to do this for 30 I needed to journal for 30 minutes before I did work and my partner comes in and says, "Hey, we got to go somewhere quick. Can we do that?" I will lose my loving mind in my brain. Like inside my head I'm like, "God damn it, this whole day sucks now. Nothing's right. I have to blah 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 blah." And I'm like, oh, and that's my inner monologue. Like I wish I could have some of the roll with it that you have, man, cuz
It's It's hard one. I used to be very much more like I would let every little thing upset me
Mhm.
and it was just wearing me out and I like had to like just acknowledge the fact that that's what was wearing me out was like my focus on everything. And it's very step by step and it's very sometimes things matter a lot more than they should.
Mhm.
And like I just have to acknowledge like okay, I understand that right now I sound crazy. That's okay. This matters to me in my brain. I can't explain it. It's just doing this. Like,
I love that
I
acknowledgement of yourself though. That's
do
so
you, I
powerful.
was just gonna say, do you separate like the you and your body and your brain?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I have
This is
to.
one of those really fun ones that I found out that a lot of neurodivergent people do that I thought I was
Mhm.
just like a little weird for. There's so much of the like what my body can and wants to do and what my brain can and wants to do and what the soul inside of me can and wants to do.
Mhm.
They do
Mhm.
not agree. They
No, they
some people
barely
have
ever do.
suggested that actually that might be the ADHD and the autism kind of like at play there too.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I feel like if we didn't have our chronic illnesses, autism and ADHD, we'd be too unstoppable. The universe just had to get us in par with the rest of the world so they had a competing chance.
I figure that was why I was also made to be hypermobile and just constantly tired. If
Hmm
this brain had the vehicle to do what it wants to do, oh
A
man,
hundred
unstoppable.
percent. I like that to say your ambition outruns your body. Me too.
That's
Me too,
exactly
girl.
it.
Me too.
Um, okay. On that like mindset factor before we lose it, we were talking about imposter syndrome the other day.
Yes.
Yes, and that like weird phenomenon that most people with chronic pain also have where we like gaslight ourselves into believing that maybe we are not chronically ill today. You do that one too, right?
I laugh because it's so painfully true. My dude, I gaslight myself out of every single symptom. I have rods in my spine and 36 screws. I'm like, nope, I'm not allowed to have this. I'm not in pain. I don't have a condition. I'm not disabled. I'm not chronically ill. What? I have all these unexplained symptoms and I'm crazy and I am not okay and my boyfriend can't do half the things my body does or like just doesn't do half the thing that my body does. And he functions so much better than me, but I none of my reasons are valid. um, I am not chronically ill. I am not disabled. I'm not even autistic.
There's so many
I'm
times
just a
where
failed
like
human.
so one thing that my husband says a lot is like, that's fair. And so I'll say something like, oh my God, my legs and my hips hurt so much. He's like, oh, that's fair. And I'm like, no, it's not. I didn't do anything today. I cleaned a little and I sat at my desk. Like, this is not fair. And it's like, but then I
Mhm.
have to like remind myself that like also I did those things with a body that doesn't function like a normal body should. And I have to like re-remind myself of that, that like,
Mhm.
no, actually, like for real, this is what it is.
And also validate the fact that for somebody who's not neurodivergent, if he is or isn't, I don't know, and
Totally.
not chronically ill or disabled, that's either that response can mean one of two things. I'm assuming it means the latter. It's a dismissive response, or it's a I don't know what to say, but I love you and I want to be supportive and I want to say something. And I don't want to make you feel bad about it.
It's that
Because
last one because he's just like,
exactly.
he knows that my body functions the way it functions. So he's like, well, yeah, okay, that makes sense that your legs and your hips hurt. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it doesn't make sense. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
no. Okay, remember how you have this like thing where you have bad joints? So like it actually does make sense. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
This is not fair.
Yeah.
Same. I get it.
It
And
is.
I feel like there's a little balance there between gaslighting yourself, understanding yourself, not allowing grace for yourself, but also at the same time having grace and understanding for the fact that your partner's trying to support you without understanding. Because
So
unless
good.
you have chronic illness, neurodivergence, or
Yeah.
disability, you don't understand. Like there's
He's
no
so
way
good.
to truly get it unless you get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like they try and they do their best, especially our partners, because yours sounds lovely, mine is amazing as well. And things
Fantastic
like that,
people.
like in the moment, may sound, I don't want to hear that, but that's just them trying to do their
Yeah.
best to understand. Because mine cries on my bad days with me because he can't fix
Aw.
it. So
The good
don't
partners, like
publish that part though. I don't know if he'd love crying on the internet.
that is what makes the difference, right? Is that like just having that person that can stand with you and shoulder the pain with you,
Mm-hmm.
they make all the difference.
A
I love
thousand
my
percent.
husband.
Oh, I know. I love my man too.
One more thing that we have in common in the managing of the chronic illness and the neurodivergencies and all of that is using cannabis to
Yes.
manage everything. Gardening, as they say on TikTok these days.
Mhm. Which is not to be confused with actual gardening, which we both actually do too.
I love to garden while I garden.
Oh my
It's
God,
a,
it's so fun.
and then
It'll
like
hurt less after
the
too.
whole area gets weeded, but like I had five more projects that I was going to do, but this area is all weeded.
And you have less pain by the time you're done doing the insane amount of tasks.
Yes.
Yeah. Hmm.
How long have you been gardening for chronic pain? And do you also use it for the neurodivergencies? Do you find it helps with those?
Okay, so I kind of want to do like a before and after explanation because I have like a weird circumstance regarding it.
There.
So before I got diagnosed with autism and all that jazz, I got diagnosed with scoliosis young, so that's always been around. I was using it for chronic pain, but I was also self-medicating for the neurodivergence, and I didn't even know it. The first time I started smoking, I was like 17 and a half. It wasn't even legal in Canada yet. Don't tell anybody that. Um, yes, I started at around 17 and a half and didn't even know what I was doing, but I was doing it. And that led very fast to me being stoned all day, every minute, literally, unless I was at my childcare job with the kids. Like I wouldn't smoke before work, but as soon as I was done, tighten up. And I was almost never sober. And once I realized why I was self-medicating, I realized that I had to do like a completely sober. I had to go completely sober. And that was when I realized that I have a whole bunch of other symptoms that weren't in check. And that's when I really learned that it works. And self-medicating really was working because I had widespread joint pain in every single joint and I just didn't notice. I actually had pain from my spinal rods and I didn't notice for the the last like 4 years of assessments. I was like, I'm fine. My surgeon was like, how are you holding up? Any like residual pain? No, I'm good. Yes. The answer is yes, there is pain
There
there. I was
was, I just couldn't feel it.
so I did a full year completely sober and now I started using it to manage my symptoms again. I try to use it in the evenings, and when I'm sore. I don't do it every day anymore, but when I need to. But when I got clean and when I got sober for that full year, everybody in my family was so excited for me and so happy. They acted like I was coming off meth. Like I know that's a really weird
Yeah.
thing. I also acted like I was coming off meth. I was super excited to be clean. Like I was so excited to just live
Yeah.
sober life and have fun doing it and just like be that girl.
Because it was the mindset you were in when you were doing it then. That makes sense.
Yes. And I had immense trauma when I was doing it before too. So it wasn't just like I'm quitting to get sober. It was I'm quitting to figure out who I am without weed and without trauma, to be fit. I was powerlifting at the time too because I was self-medicating all my symptoms away.
Yeah.
And like I was super in the fitness in the zone. And when I quit, weed was a like and gardening and cannabis, those were like swear words. They were bad. It had
Yeah.
like and so much so to the point that I gave myself a stigma.
Mm.
And that when I started using weed again, which was only a few months ago, I have a really hard time admitting that I use weed and that I use cannabis as a medical aid for me. And it really does help. It really, really does. And it's a blessing because I myself am 25. I don't want to be on all the harsh drugs and all the pain relief and all that stuff. Like,
Mhm.
I still want to be able to build a family and not be addicted to things before they're like five, you know? Like, I don't want to be, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you are young and you have a family and you're on pain pills to manage your stuff, I just want to avoid being on prescriptions as long as I can.
Fair. And
And
honestly, that's like my main goal with my continued cannabis use is I'm trying to avoid collecting the prescriptions. Like at this point, I think like I would have to be on five different things to
mhm,
manage what I manage
mhm.
smoking.
And that's exactly it too, right? And I mean, I have asthma, so I don't smoke it anymore. I use
Right.
gummies. Um, but I'm kind of learning to give myself that love and that allowance
Mm.
because it is a medical accommodation.
Yeah.
It is something that is helping me not have to sit in fetal position in a really hot shower because my everything hurts and
Yeah.
cry, you know. It's helping me be able to do the hard work and gardening and have fun. It's helping me
Yeah.
manage the pain to start a business and to be a present loving spouse sometimes. Like if I had a really hard day and my partner doesn't get home till 10:30 at night, I'm a little stoned, but I'm able to say, "Hey, how was your day? Are you having a good
Yeah.
like are you having a good day? Like let's talk about it. What steps
Yeah.
did you make in your business today? I love you. Like let's hang out."
Gives you that
Instead of
ability to be
bed,
present.
yes, man, instead of like bed, hurt, ow, ow.
Which is one of the biggest reasons I wanted to bring it up was because like the stigma around it is still there, despite
Mhm,
the fact that it is fully legal. I can go to a store now and buy it. Um, but that huge stigma is still there, and like still so many people
mhm,
don't believe that like I do what I do while I'm stoned. They're just like, well, don't you
mhm,
just like lay around and like, I don't know, eat munchies? And I'm like, no, I clean the house. I take care of my garden. I do my work. I write my books.
mhm.
Like I read. I do my art. I I
Yeah.
do everything else and like because I can, because I'm not thinking 100%.
But I sit down and I think I'm a unique perspective because I use it. I used to love it. I have the stigma on myself that I'm actively fighting. So my unique
Yeah.
perspective. But when we look at the media and how it's portrayed, because I got high, because I got high, because I got high,
Yeah.
and like Cheech and Chong, and like the way that things are presented, they're sitting on the couch. They're not doing anything. They're munching. They're using it
I
to
mean,
buy
yeah, I
themselves.
get why people who don't do it think that that's what you're doing.
And
And like
there's a
even
difference.
sometimes when I talk to people who do it a lot, like
Hmm.
they don't, it's all about the mindset you go into it with.
Hmm.
I
Well, and
use
there's a
it
very
to
clear,
do.
yes. Well, and there's a very clear defined difference between using it as a medical reason and as a symptom control
Yeah.
management and recreational use.
Yeah.
Because if you're using it as recreational use and that's all you're intended to do, by all means get stoned and
Yeah.
watch Sausage Party and eat your munchies and like watch all the stoner movies and do
Yeah.
your
No
stuff.
hate
Like
on it as a
and vibe.
recreation
Yeah,
as
man. No
well.
hate at all. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Um, but as somebody now who uses it for productivity and symptom management, that's a whole nother thing that the world's not really used to seeing because
Yeah.
it's all about the recreation on media, right?
Yeah.
They don't make a movie about the chronically ill girl who
They're
uses it to
not ready for
survive,
that
right?
conversation, are they, really? Like,
Exactly. So if we think about why there's a stigma and the fact that it's not really as widely discussed as symptom management, I mean, it makes sense why it's there.
yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know where I would be without it. It's helped me in so many different ways at this point that like and with a lot of the things that I haven't been able to get proper doctor diagnoses
Mm-hmm.
for.
We're
I am
okay.
currently working on the like I finally got a doctor to say, yes, you have ADHD. And I'm like, I'm aware.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, and so can I get medication? Unfortunately, I went in to talk to her about a heart rate issue. And so she is not keen on giving me stimulants. I get it,
Mm-hmm.
but that's why we have this something else. And
Mm-hmm.
I just, I love every opportunity I get to fight that stigma of it
Oh,
and to
100%.
make it seen as more of just like a widely used medication that is good
Mm-hmm.
for holistic wellness.
Well, and I think something else that people don't really realize is that when you're using it for other things, you look for certain terpenes, you look for sativa versus indica, like you notice how it affects you and you look for what like I only ever use sativa. I
Yeah.
look for CBD, CBN, and
Yeah.
CBG. I don't really care so much about THC. I mean, it's great if it's there.
Yeah.
But like CBN, CBD, and like, you look for the things that actually help because it's not just cannabis. It's like a
Yeah.
breakdown of the different terpenes and I don't even know if I'm using the right language here, but like the different things and components that help
Sounds
certain things,
right.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite gummies has CBN, CBD, CBD, no, CBG, CBN, CBG, and THC.
CBG one was one I've just recently learned about, and I have a lot more studying to do on it. I'm excited.
I like it. I don't see, I'm kind of a in life, I'm a very much like research. I want to be well informed. When it comes to cannabis, the only research I care about, I don't care what it means. I don't care what the turpentine is. I don't care what it's physiologically supposed to do. I don't care about the chemical breakdown. I don't care about where it's made, how it grows, whatever. I just
Yeah.
care about how it affects the body and how
Yeah.
it affects me. So my research
Me
is used it.
specifically, because who knows how it's going to affect other people.
Yeah, precisely. Precisely.
Exactly. Last thing on my list that I wanted to make sure that we talked about was the way our art is healing.
Yes.
I have found in the last little while for writing for me, I do a little bit of fiction writing, and it's very healing. It's very like it helps me connect with so many different aspects of the whole journey in like a different way, taking it outside of my body,
Hmm.
and I love that. Tell me about how art is healing for you.
So, I mean, I could talk about the science behind it and the reasons why it works and the psychology behind it for hours. So I'm going to sum that part up by saying that it uses a different part of your brain that if you're not used to using, you don't see the benefits of, but once you start using it can change everything. We have two halves of our brain, left and right, so they're both meant to be used, but capitalist
Hmm.
society only relies on the non-creative one. I don't remember which is which at this precise moment. I know it, so that's not to discredit myself. It's just the
Right?
words not here. Um, but for
Brain
myself
fog.
personally, yeah, yeah. Um,
Life.
Specifically related to myself and how art is healing, it's my passion, so it makes my soul happy. And as somebody whose body makes me mad all the time and sad all the time, having doing things that make my soul happy is the reason to live
Yeah.
at this point and chasing the things that are worth it, right? But it's also helped like took 13 years, but through doing art about my spine and images, I learned to come to terms with the fact that my scar is beautiful. It's a part of the art that is me. I am a piece of art, and my scoliosis is part of that. I used to wake up with nightmares that I would turn into like Gollum from Lord of the Rings, all twisted and freaky and weird. And um, I don't think that anymore. I don't worry about that anymore. Granted, that was like little 13-year-old me worried about it, but
Man, our
people
13-year-old brains are jerks.
I know, and creative. Like, I don't know where that came from. I didn't even like Lord of the Rings. I don't know where that came from. When I was 13, I'd only seen half of it once.
But that
I
was
don't know.
like the image that stuck in
Yeah,
your head.
yeah. And it took like, but doing art made me come to terms with that and see beauty and see reality. And when I'm in pain and I don't want to not, like, I can't not be sitting, or I need to rest, but I'm losing my mind doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. I can do art. I can pull out a cross stitch that takes no effort to do. I can, if I have a little bit of extra spoons, I can set up a chair and my easel and
Yeah.
paint reclined like this, just,
Yeah.
and it's expression. It helped me learn things that I didn't even know I needed to learn about myself.
Yeah.
Um, so many ways. It's such an amazing outlet and just a tool. I feel like if more people turned on their creative brains, they would know themselves better. They would chase their goals and dreams faster, even if they're doing it differently, like us spoonies. And the world would be a much better, very different place.
Yes. We need more beauty and more peace and that like we just need that softness. Like I'm
Yes.
so over that like the world's hard, everybody has to be hard
You got to climb that
mentality.
corporate
Like we
ladder.
don't have to be that hard
I
if we
know.
just like, be a little nicer to each other and to ourselves.
Hmm.
That's a huge part of it is the being nice to ourselves.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I love like yeah, those moments while you're creating where you're like, oh, I can see this now. Like this is making more sense because it just
Hmm.
clears your mind.
Hmm. Exactly. Perspective altering.
Love it. Monica, thank you so much for coming and talking to me today. I'm so excited about this series and I can't wait to bring more spoonies on here and talk
Me
to them
too.
as well. This is going to be so fun.
I can't wait to
But
stay up to date with all the spoonies.
yes, we're building an army. The most disorganized, slow-moving army ever.
I wouldn't call it,
Okay,
I'd call
we're
it
building a
enrichment.
community. That sounds
Yeah.
nicer. Okay,
Yeah.
we're building a community. It's gonna be amazing. I love it. Before we go, do you have one thing, one project that you really want to highlight that you really want everybody to check out?
Oh,
I
I
know
would
you're doing so many things because the neurodivergent in you, but what's
uh,
the one?
see. Part of me wants to say the course because it is going to be super impactful, and I know that's going to help so many spoonies. But
Sounds
it is like so in the development stage that there's nothing to check out. So what I'm going to say is the art advocacy series. Please stay up to date on it. Please follow it if you want to collaborate and you think that you have a condition that you would like to be portrayed in my style and do a collaboration about it. I would love that. And I would love to work together with other people and get that going.
I will drop all of the information, like your website and your Instagram and how to contact you, all down below in the description. Thank you,
Thank you.
Monica, for coming and talking to me today. This has been super duper fun. If you want to talk about doing a video with me as well, please leave that in the comments or send me a message. And we're going to sign off. Bye, friend. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Randy. Thank you so much.
Bye.